Here's a fun project that I've really been looking forward to. What I'm going to do is replace that plastic tip on my pickup selector switch with one of these glow-in-the-dark plastic skulls. They look really, really cool. But where I found these was my local dollar store. For $1.50, I got it's a necklace. It's glow in the dark, and they're the perfect size, and I think they look pretty cool too. For a cheap little necklace, they actually do have kind of an interesting look to them. It's pretty simple to do. I'm going to use the existing plastic tip and just drill a hole in one of these heads and insert it inside with either, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use the epoxy or some super glue. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, obviously, is get rid of the string. Okay. So I'm just doing some visual measuring here, just to see how much of the knob will fit inside of the skull. I don't want it to rub on the edge here, so I'm going to trim off some of this the original plastic tip because I don't really need all of it inside that skull, because the only part that's threaded is about 1/8 of an inch here. But then again, more of this inside the skull, the stronger it's going to be anyway. So, but I think I will trim a little bit of the diameter off, so it's not quite as teardrop shaped, more cylindrical shaped, and then I can just drill out the inside of the skull. I filed quite a bit of the tip off. I basically turned it into kind of a cylinder. I don't want to take any material off around the bottom because I don't want to make it weak. Just got rid of that sort of teardrop shape at the top, and then kind of roughed it up a bit, put some scores in it with the file just to make it rough so that the epoxy will really stick in there in all those little grooves. And so now I gotta just put that, drill out the hole, or make that hole bigger. There's a hole in it already, but I gotta drill that out bigger. So I found a drill bit that's pretty much the same diameter, a little bit larger maybe, hopefully. I can't go too big because the skull's only so big, so hopefully I can drill into this without popping out one side or the other, but I have lots more, so who knows, it might take me a couple. Just gonna test fit my fit, so it's got to go a little bit deeper. Like I say, I've got lots of skulls here, but I kind of want to just get it the first time. Let's see how our fit is here. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that because I'm afraid of drilling right through the top of his head. It's a pretty close fit. Or through his eyeballs. I think I'm getting close to actually going through his eyeballs. Right in there. Alright. Alright, so yeah, that's looking pretty sharp. We just got to glue it in there. Clean it up a bit too. Just getting rid of some of these burrs that from drilling. It's weird plastic. It's really really soft. Perfect for the switch tip though. So because this skull came from a necklace, it's got a hole in the top of its head. I kind of wanted to fill that in with something. So luckily the necklace came with this little skeleton hand, and I took off the one of the fingers or the thumb or whatever that was there, and I just shaved down the end of it to fit inside his the hole, and I'll just crazy glue that in, and then I'll trim it off later once the glue's dried, and then sand it smooth, and you shouldn't be able to see it at all. Kind of makes a cleaner look that way. Crazy glue is good for this because it's clear, so it shouldn't really show at all. And you might see a little line, but only I will know it's there. Alright, just got to let that dry. This is a great little X-Acto knife I have. It's like a mini saw blade. Had this for years. It's great for this kind of thing. There we go. Okay, I'll just trim that off and sand it a bit. So just to smooth it out, I think I've got a piece of, it's like about 320, 220. Just the spare piece that I had around the shop here. And I've got a piece here, it looks like 400. Again, just another piece that I got around the shop, just to, doesn't have to be exact, just to smooth out any sanding marks there. Alright, looks pretty good. And then just kind of buff it up with this rag. So I think that's pretty good. I like that. You can hardly tell that there was a hole in the skull. So I decided not to go with the epoxy. I'm going to go with the super glue. Just because it's clear. And the epoxy is a black color, and I think you might notice coming through a little bit. Anyways, let's put a little bit of super glue in here. A little bit on this one. I don't want to put too much. I get it running all over the place. Ah, it's a lot of glue. I did get it everywhere. Got it in his eye. Uh-oh. Bet that stings. Yeah, it's a little more than I wanted. But, I mean, I just have to wipe it off. I guess I put a lot more in the skull than I thought I did. But you see what I mean? How you can kind of see through to that black tip on the inside. It doesn't really bother me a whole lot, but I think if I used the epoxy, it would have shown up a lot more. So I experimented a bit on this other skull, and just with some black wash. And what I used was some my good old acrylic artist paint. Just watered it down slightly. It's almost really straight, but just mixed up a little bit here and just kind of brush it on. Make sure it's in all those little areas. Doesn't really like sticking to it, but that's okay. It's going to wipe off the excess anyways, and what's going to be left is basically just what's in the all the little crevices and features and stuff like that. I just kind of dab away at it. Oh, there we go. That's pretty much it. Nothing left to do on it except install it into the guitar, which I can't wait to do. But I just wiped off the excess black that I put on there, and it helps to blend in the black tip that shows at the back of the skull. Not much you can do about that, but I think that's a pretty cool look for a $1.50 Halloween necklace. Top of his head looks cool, filled in that hole. Works just like any other switch would work, of course. Alright, nicely done.